autumn into winter, into the holiday season, it started picking back up again. And at first, my publisher and I thought, oh, this is maybe just, it's a really great gift. Like, it's a very giftable book. It has a very broad appeal across generations. So we were thinking, well, maybe people are buying this as a holiday gift. Um, but the sales stayed up after that. And I think it was a lot of word of mouth. It was a lot of book clubs, and continues to be a lot of word of mouth and book clubs. A lot of community reading programs have selected it, which is just especially near and dear to me because I feel like those programs often get people reading and interacting with books in their libraries, maybe in a way that they hadn't been before. So it's been such a special journey. It really has. I am. I keep having this fantasy, I guess I'll call it, that I'm going to do all this writing on airplanes while I'm traveling for book events, and like the hotel room time is going to be very productive. That hasn't worked out as well as I thought it would. So yeah, I'm writing a second book. It's going more slowly than I would have thought it would. But it's chugging along. It'll get there. Hopefully by the end of the year. I mean, a little bit. It's not a sequel or a prequel, but it's kind of same vibes, I guess you could say. There is an animal, but it's not an octopus, and it's just a very different kind of setup with the structure of the book. So I'm really excited about it. Once the fall event season kind of winds down, I'm hoping to really put some time into finishing it. Well, I was so thrilled to be invited. It's just such a wonderful program. They have just such an impressive roster of authors that come and speak. And I haven't been to this event before, but I just get the sense that it's a great, just kind of community connector, and really something that enriches the lives of people up in Traverse City and the surrounding area. It's a beautiful area. I have been there once. I have my husband has an aunt and uncle who live out on Torch Lake, and we went to a wedding there a few years back. Yeah, no, I can't wait. Really excited. We haven't really had any of that in Chicago yet. It's just starting, so I'm excited to come up north.
Say upnorthlive.com. But Shelby, before I let you go, I want to ask you a question. This is actually our question of the day because we knew we were going to be talking with you. So, what is your favorite way to read a book? Do you like physical books? Do you like ebooks, like a Kindle or audiobook? What do you think?
A couple years ago, I would have probably said I'm a physical book person. I like to hold the thing. I like the feel. I like the smell,
Sure.
and that's still very true. I do like all those things. But as life has become so much busier, I really have come to appreciate the convenience of both ebooks. Like, I have a Kindle, and I read a ton on that. That thing just stays in my purse and lets me squeeze reading in during times of the day, like I'm in the carpool line or
Sure.
whatever, and I can read half a chapter. And audiobooks too. I mean, I know that audiobooks have been around for a very long time, but I feel like recently, maybe it's just me discovering them, but I feel like the production of them has really, improved. Like,
Mhm.
they're really like well acted and well read, and just a very different way of consuming a book, but something that I've really come to love enjoying as well. So a lot of times I have three books going at
Yeah.
any given time.
So you like all of them. Any way to
Me
read.
too. I didn't answer your question. Sorry.
I agree with you there. It really depends on the day and what's going on in your life. So I get that. But
Yeah.
Shelby, thank you so much for joining us on Unscripted. It was so lovely to talk with you. I look forward to reading your book and to seeing you at the National Writers Series next Wednesday here in Traverse City.
Thank you.
Yes. And we will pull up our question of the day so you viewers at home can vote on that as well. Again, that is, what is your favorite way to read a book? Scan that QR code and it'll take you to a webpage where you can vote. So right now, 78% of people say a physical book, 19% say ebook, and 2% say audiobook. I will say I am definitely a fan of physical books. However, I know if you have a library card and you have a Kindle, I think you can get free books on your Kindle with a library card. So I might have to look into that because physical books they're pretty pricey these days. But anyways, that was so nice getting to talk with Shelby. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to her visit here in Traverse City. But let's turn things over to a local story that I actually worked on today. And with the election right around the corner, I'm sure you can't go more than a block around whatever neighborhood you're in without seeing some sort of political sign. However, that has been causing a little bit of chaos in some communities. Some people are stealing these signs. And actually, a woman in Charlevoix County, she's facing larceny charges tonight after allegedly stealing multiple signs from a property in Charlevoix County. And today I talked with the prosecuting attorney for Charlevoix County, and he said that while the charge may signify only a small dollar amount in value, that the theft of campaign signs is contrary to democracy and must be addressed in court. So here's that full story. Sign, sign, everywhere a sign. Popular lyrics from a 1970 five-man electrical band song are certainly ringing true today. With less than a month until Election Day, it's hard to avoid seeing yard signs for political candidates.
There are multiple different political views out there. Everyone has their First Amendment right to express who they support, and we should all respect everyone's political views.
However, not everyone is respecting other people's political views. Has Charlevoix County been seeing any sort of election campaign sign theft recently?
We have. Often these are issues where people take the signs in the dark and we can't readily identify whoever took them.
That wasn't the case on September 6th when a woman was seen taking political signs from a property in Walloon Lake.
A motorist saw the person taking the signs and was able to take a picture of the license plate. And then from that license plate, police were able to identify the person who was seen taking the signs.
That person is facing a charge of larceny of property valued under $200. That's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 93 days in jail or a fine.
I get it. People's feelings run high about political candidates. And people may not like to be flooded with that other person's name. Doesn't mean that you should be taking other people's property.
According to officials, this hasn't been a huge issue in Traverse City this year.
Within the city limits, we have not really noticed an uptick in any kind of political sign thefts.
No uptick in thefts, yet some residents may be missing their yard signs.
Oftentimes, citizens do think that their signs are stolen when it's simply the police department removing the sign because of the ordinance violation.
An ordinance regulation that prevents any signage on city property, like here, the area between the road and the sidewalk.
Oftentimes, residents will place signs there that will be removed by the police department because of the ordinance violation, and they're taken to our police department to be picked up at a later date.
And how often does that happen?
That happens on a daily basis.
So if you live within the city limits and you're missing a yard sign that was placed here, try looking for it near the dumpster at the Traverse City Law Enforcement Building. But if a sign is stolen right from your property, contact Central Dispatch to report the incident.
I hope people realize that it is more serious than just taking a piece of paper that may have cost $5 or $6 to print. This is a much more serious situation than that.
Because by stealing one of these, Tholen says you could be stealing information someone needs to make an informed decision on who to vote for.
And if people are stealing signs for people they don't like, then we have a system or a process that's not functioning as well as it could.
We are going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, Joe will have much more on the weather forecast here in northern Michigan, as well on Hurricane Milton down in Florida. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
I'm Jada Johnston from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's bring Joe back into the conversation to talk a little bit more on our forecast. And Joe, it's been a pretty nice afternoon across much of northern Michigan, but is it going to get pretty cold tonight?
Yeah, some areas, especially inland, could see some frost tonight. We're getting to that point, though, now, heading into mid-October here, where the growing season kind of done with for most spots.
Right.
So, we'll pick it back up again in the spring. I want to show you a cool picture, though. You see it right there, Maya, this water spout, which was taken near Petoskey and Little Traverse Bay yesterday. That was pretty awesome. This was about 7:30 last night. What I love about the perspective here that Jock took was that you had the sun going down too. So it was just kind of a great perspective last night. The other thing, we had the northern lights out. You and I take different routes home from work. We kind of go opposite ways. They were out when I was driving home. Maya, it was like, oh yeah, last night. This was taken at Rockport, the harbor there in Alpena County. Jeremy McCoy sent this in. That is pretty nice. Now, back to the frost and freeze conditions. Here's a look at our map here. So if you look at that, the blue shaded areas are where we have a frost advisory. You might wonder why none of our area does. But again, the National Weather Service said they're done issuing them now for the season, except down south because the growing season lasts a bit longer down this way. So Big Rapids, Mount Pleasant, Mecosta County, Newaygo County, we do have a frost advisory for that area tonight. Let's head to the tropics. Here is Hurricane Milton, the latest satellite pictures, and we have radar on there as well. There it is, churning away. It is a big one. You can see that. And right now, the latest reconnaissance aircraft info, it's back up to a Category 5 hurricane. It weakened briefly today to Category 4, but back up to 5. You can see that it's now 475 miles to the southwest of Tampa. By the way, the maximum winds there on the bottom, 200 miles per hour. This is the spaghetti plot. So these are the various weather models that show where this could go. And again, the majority of them honing in on the Tampa area as the steering winds will take that right into there. And that's kind of what our thoughts are right now, according to the National Hurricane Center, at least. Landfall, late Wednesday night, very early Thursday morning. So, about 30 hours from now. It should weaken somewhat into a Category 3 hurricane, crossing near Orlando. By the way, the Orlando area is well inland. If you've ever been down to Disney, that area, they're looking at some gusty, pretty big winds too for that region down in Florida. Back home, not a lot of rain in our forecast in the short term. Here's Stormcast, maybe a shower up north or near Lake Huron tomorrow. Not much of a chance. Sunshine Thursday, and then a little more cloud cover rides in here on Friday. But watch next week. We'll go to the weekend. So Saturday looks dry. There's northern Michigan. Spinning out of Canada is this area of low pressure that gets in here Sunday. That's good news for us. I mean, not if you have outdoor plans, but we need the rain. Even a little snow there north of Sault Ste. Marie. And then wrap around rain Monday, maybe even into Tuesday. So finally, we have a bit of rain in our forecast looking ahead here. And that is what we're looking at, that chance for showers. You see that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Also next week, the coolest temperatures of the season so far. Our highs only in the 40s for some spots a week from now, Maya. So certainly the taste of fall on the way in.
It is weird seeing 74 and then 49 in like the same forecast.
It'll be a pretty big drop.
That's fall for you. All right, thank you so much, Joe. We are going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we will bring in sports director Harrison Beebe, and he'll have your sports update. Stay with us. Well, I'm sure most of you have heard of April in the D. It's that magical time of year where the Tigers, Red Wings, and Pistons all play in the same month. Well, this year, we get October in the D, and let's add the Lions into that mix too. All the Detroit teams are in action this October. For more on that, let's talk to Harrison Beebe. Hey, Harrison.
Yeah, Maya, it's been 10 years, maybe more, since we could have seen all 4 Detroit pro sports teams play in the same week, but that's what's going to happen over the course of the next several days here. The Pistons started their preseason on Sunday. They're back at it tonight. Actually, a special one against the Phoenix Suns at the Breslin Center, with both owners of the Pistons and the Suns being Michigan State alums. They decided to put this one in East Lansing, which is pretty cool. As we know, we've rehashed a million times by now on this show, the Tigers and Guardians will be playing games 3 and 4 at Comerica Park tomorrow and Thursday. The Red Wings, in fact, the Tigers playoff games are affecting the Red Wings start time for their season opener on Thursday night at Little Caesars Arena. It's against the Penguins. It was going to be a 7 o'clock puck drop. It's now going to be at 8 o'clock to allow the 6 o'clock start time for game 4 to be a little smoother for fans to get in and out of. And as we all know, you mentioned the Lions. They are playing on Sunday in a rivalry of sorts as they visit the Dallas Cowboys again. So really, April, in my opinion, April has the vote for the best sports month of the year. But when you have a playoff baseball team in your state, it's hard not to give the edge to October based on all the stuff going on. Plus college football taking place. Michigan and Michigan State actually picked a convenient week to both have the week off because we can kind of hone in on these 4 teams right now for the week ahead, and hopefully more if the Tigers can keep playing into next week.
Yeah, fingers crossed. A lot of action happening in Detroit, especially on Thursday with the Tigers and the Red Wings game. Downtown Detroit will be absolutely electric. And I mentioned this yesterday, but Harrison, you will be in downtown Detroit tomorrow for that game.
That's right. Cody Bear and I will be heading down. I believe Madison Stoddard is going to be down there as well for a little morning show pre-game coverage at Comerica Park. I imagine it's going to be pretty chilly for Madison there that early in the morning. But yes, Cody and I will be there for the 3 o'clock first pitch tomorrow afternoon, game 3 of Tigers Guardians, as the Tigers hope to take a 2-1 series lead in the best of 5.
All right, Harrison, looking forward to your report from Comerica Park tomorrow. We are going to take a quick break, but we'll be back with our live results for a question of the day in just a few minutes.
Salon services are furnished by Epiphany Advanced Academy in East Acme.
Let's take one last look at our question of the day results. What is your favorite way to read a book? 79% say a physical book, 19% say ebook, and 2% say audiobook. And the reason why this is our question of the day is because, in case you missed the beginning of our show, we brought in Shelby Van Pelt. She is the author of Remarkably Bright Creatures, and she will be in Traverse City at the National Writers Series next Wednesday to talk more about her book and just other things that she's working on right now. So really cool getting to talk with Shelby today. We have more information on her visit to the National Writers Series on our website, UpNorthLive.com. That'll do it for Up North Live Unscripted on this Tuesday evening. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you back here at 11 o'clock tonight.